good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Northwest Access TV's presentation of Franklin County Boys Varsity Basketball. Tonight, we are at the Thunderdome here in Swanton as the MVU Thunderbirds host the Mount Abraham Eagles. My name is Bryce Batchelder, and before we get to the starting lineups, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Pearly Sports Complex, JC Image, Handy Toyota, Barrett Ford, and Clarity Realty with Keller Williams, Vermont. If your business would like to become a sports sponsor, contact staff at Northwest Access TV at 802-782-8676. As the Thunderbirds control the tip here tonight, let me give you the starting lineups first for the visiting Eagles as Gabe Unwin gets the first points on the board for the Thunderbirds. And Cole Butza picks up the turnover. Starting lineups for Mount Abe: number 3, Lucas Jensen; number 12, Henry Cogswell; 13, Liam Oxford; 15, Quinn Cook. So the Thunderbirds get another one to drop. 21, Griffin Parody. They're coached by Martin Clark. And the starting lineup for the Thunderbirds: number 4, Sean Power; 5, Gabriel Unwin; 14, Caleb Johnston; 22, Cole Buta; and number 30, Patrick Walker. Thunderbirds with a quick start, jumping out to 4-0 here in the first minute, as that's a good three-pointer by Liam Oxford to get the Eagles on the board and cut that deficit down to 1. Eagles coming out with a full-court press, trying to push the pace here right from the start. These teams are very even. That's not a backcourt. It was deflected by Mount Abe. Teams are very even. Essentially, we're looking at a 9-10 matchup here in the rankings. The good turnover picked up by Griffin Parody. He lays it in, and just as the Thunderbirds went on a 4-0 run in the first minute, in the last 40 seconds, Mount Abe on a 5-0 run. Talking to the MVU coaching staff before the game, I told them selfishly I wanted a close game because that's always more fun to call, but of course they selfishly do not like to come out here and just dominate things. But close so far here in the first 2 minutes as the Thunderbirds are called for a travel, and Mount Abe will get possession back. Henry Cogswell handling the ball for the Eagles, looking for a screen, going to pull up for 3 instead, and that one is good. Mount Abe with a pair of threes on the board here so far. 6 out of their 8 points from behind the arc. MVU still trying to get the ball across half court. Mount Abe doing a good job with trying to set up traps near the half court line. MVU gets it over. Mount Abe extending their defense, and Griffin Parody really trying to play in that passing lane up top. Unwin looking around. Unwin at the high post, kicks that one out to Walker. Walker with a fake, but he's going to drive in on his left, going to put that one up, and he'll get fouled. Our first foul of the game. That Mount Abe foul on number 12, Henry Cogswell, his first, team's first. Patrick Walker will get 2 shots. Hits the front end. Free throws have been a bit of a struggle for the Thunderbirds so far this year. See if Walker can get them off to a good start here tonight. He does indeed, goes 2 for 2. Thunderbirds back within 2. Also pulling out their full court press, but Mount Abe breaks that one. And we will get a travel called on Quincy Cook. Shuffled his feet before he put the ball down. Credit to Gabe Unwin. Closing out on defense to force Cook to move a little bit sooner than he wanted to. Thunderbirds still sort of taking their time in the backcourt here. Cross-court, dangerous pass, ends up as a turnover. Mount Abe coming the other way. Thunderbirds a little bit slow on that help side defense. as Quincy Cook is there to clean up the board. His first points of the game. Coach Walker calling for his son Patrick Walker to push the ball up a little bit. Asking for his team to get the ball out of that little area up by the half-court line. That's where Mount Abe wants them to have the ball. They're trying to force those traps up by the half-court line. MVU has yet to really be able to get into their offensive set so far. Not in rhythm. Credit to Mount Abe's defense. MVU trying to return the favor, still in their full court press. MVU in a man-to-man here. And we will get a foul, I believe, called on Cole Buta, his first, MVU's first team foul of the night. About halfway through the first quarter, with the Eagles leading 10-6. And a wide open three-point attempt, no foot on the line, was off anyway. Sean Power ends up with the board, kicks it over to Walker. Walker dribbling it up. Parity there to meet him for Mount Abe. A little bit of an easier time for the Thunderbirds to get into their set. A nice pass down to Unwin. Unwin lays that one in. He now has 4 points. Guess Thunderbirds back within 2, and good defense by Buta, able to get that ball to go off of Jensen, and Thunderbirds will get possession as Hazen Luno checks in for the first time tonight. Going to give Cole Buta a little rest on the bench. Walker with the ball, up to Unwin. Fakes the three, going to take it himself. Met by a couple Mount Abe players. He's going to draw the foul. Mount Abe foul on number 21, Griffin Parity. His first, team's second. Foul was called on the floor. So MV will get it under the basket. Back up to Unwin. He will again fake the three, stop at the free throw line, kick it out to Walker, corner three. That one's just off, and Cogswell gobbles it up for the Eagles, and he's bringing it up himself. Going to take it to the left, stops at the block, kicks it out. Cook looking around here. He's going to pull up himself, the southpaw, up off the glass. Backboard is your friend. That's Quincy Cook's 4th point of the evening. Sean Power going to put up that three-point attempt. That one's short. Luno gets the rebound. A nice little shuffle pass over to Caleb Johnston, who puts it in, and we will have a foul called, I think, underneath rebounding. No, Caleb Johnston will get an and-one opportunity here. That Mount Abe foul on 13. Liam Oxford, his first, team's third. Caleb Johnston with 1 free throw because of the made basket. That one's off. Quincy Cook with the rebound. Over to Parity, dribbling it up. Walker is there. Back over to Cogswell. Parity going to try to go baseline, stopped by Walker. Cross now to Oxford. Oxford out to Cogswell. And I believe we will get a foul called on Caleb Johnston. Caleb Johnston, indeed, his first, team's second. Three-pointer is good for Liam Oxford, his second three-pointer of the night. He's now the leading scorer in the game with 6 points. He did not have a lot of space on that three-pointer. Beautiful arc, nothing but net. Someone that the Thunderbirds will have to keep an eye on out along the three-point line. Thunderbirds sometimes with their defense on the weak side have trouble getting out to three-point shooters, so especially need to keep an eye on him. And that ball is going to be out of bounds off the Thunderbirds. Mount Abe now with their largest lead of the night with 5 points at 15-10. 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. And Quincy Cook down low. And he now has 6 points. So Oxford and Cook accounting for 12 of Mount Abe's 17 points in this opening quarter. Unwin looking around. He will be called for the travel. Slid a little bit coming to that jump stop. When Mount Abe has been able to set up their full court press, MVU has not been able to get into their half court offense. Mount Abe putting a lot of pressure, looking for those traps up by the half court line. And because of that, MVU's been having trouble getting that ball within the three-point line, often kind of stuck halfway between the three-point line and the half-court line. Matthew Curtis going to check in for the Thunderbirds. The senior, first time seeing him here tonight. Been battling an injury all year. Been seeing limited minutes here and there. Anything they can get from him is a bonus. Nice shovel pass in from Mason Noble to Gabe Unwin. Gabe Unwin now has 6 points. Half of MVU's points here tonight. That three-pointer did go in from Cogswell, but he traveled first, so it does not count. But on that last MVU possession, really nice penetration by Noble to go baseline, draw Mount Abe's defense, and then shuffle it over to Unwin for the layup opportunity. MVU still having a hard time getting closer, able to do it. Curtis now. Matthew Curtis lays that one in. A nice find from Unwin on the opposite block. Again, a similar play. Mount Abe's defense collapsed on Unwin, able to find Curtis cutting from the opposite block. Turnover here, potentially. And on the loose ball, we're going to get a Mount Abe foul. Good hustle by Luke Fournier to go for that ball on the ground. Mount Abe foul on number 15, Quincy Cook, his first. Team's fourth, last 30 seconds of the first quarter. We'll get a kick ball. MVU still having some trouble getting through Mount Abe's press. Mount Abe really just setting up a three-quarter court press. They're not putting pressure on the inbounder. They're waiting for the ball to reach the opposite free throw line before they try to set up their traps. What MVU's got to try to do is keep the ball towards the middle. And the Noble down there just met by a couple Mount Abe players. Tried to force that one up. Going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow to Mount Abe with a 3-point lead here. 14 seconds to go. Coach Walker calling for MVU to get up and play tough defense here. That three-pointer is up, and that one's long. But the offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds now. Quincy Cook draws the foul on Mount Abe's second offensive rebound on that possession with 1.5 seconds left. That's one the coach, Matt Walker, can't be happy about. That MVU foul on 15, Matthew Curtis, his first, team's third. Cook misses the first free throw attempt. That's always a frustrating one. You forced Mount Abe into a less than ideal shot. Gave up a follow that didn't go in, and then gave up another offensive rebound that drew a foul. Cook goes 1 for 2 from the line. He has 7 points in this opening quarter. Unwin's shot long after the buzzer and after the first quarter. Mount Abe leads the Thunderbirds 18-14. Some scoring leaders for you so far for the Thunderbirds. Gabe Unwin leading with 6 points. For the Eagles, Quincy Cook leading all scorers in the game with 7. Liam Oxford with 2 3-pointers. He has 6 points. The Thunderbirds got down by as much as 7 in the first quarter, down 17-10. Able to at least cut that deficit down to 4 heading into the second quarter. But the Thunderbirds got off to a quick 4-0 start in the first minute. Then the Eagles in the following 40 seconds scored 5 unanswered. It's been a fairly close game since. Mount Abe still not relinquishing that lead. MVU keeping it close, however. MVU's got to figure out how to more efficiently break Mount Abe's press. They've been running a 3/4 court press, really trying to get those traps in the corners by the half-court line and the sideline. MVU has been hard pressed to advance the ball within the 3-point line. And that's going to be the key here for the Thunderbirds. They want to get some opportunities here to take the lead. Patrick Walker looking around the 3-point line into Unwin. Unwin kicks it back out to Walker. Ball was tipped. Still up in the air. Grayson Lyons ends up with it. Mount Abe pushing it the other way. Luckily did not have numbers. MVU running a man-to-man defense here. Not going outside the 3-point line, however. Trying to clog that middle. Mount Abe hasn't had many mid-range opportunities. They've been hitting threes and getting down low. Ian Digby now, the junior, extending his defense. Over to Cook, the leading scorer. Good work by the Thunderbirds on defense right now, not letting Mount Abe get an open look. And they will unfortunately get called for a hand check. Overall, a good defensive stand for the Thunderbirds. Unfortunate to result in the foul called on Ian Digby, his first, team's 4th. And that 3-pointer is up, and that one is good by Henry Cogswell. That's now his second 3-pointer of the game. By my count, that's 5 3-pointers that Mount Abe has hit so far tonight. And now that was not backcourt because Patrick Walker didn't get both feet across, only one. He can still step that one back as MVU's now going to draw the foul. Matthew Curtis down on the ground, not the guy that Thunderbirds want to see down, and gets up looking a little ginger. That Mount Abe foul on number 4, Kobe LaRose, his first, team's 5th. Patrick Walker going to inbound the ball for the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds stacking up out to Unwin at the 3-point line. Over to Walker. Walker going to take that 3-pointer. That one's too strong. Cole Bootsaw had a chance at that rebound, but just lost his balance. Maybe tripped over a foot as he was trying to grab it, and goes out of bounds. Mount Abe now with a 7-point lead. MVU extending their defense, not going all the way full court, but beyond the half-court line. Mount Abe moving the ball around. Kobe LaRose with his first points of the game. And that was a nice offensive possession by Mount Abe. MVU's defense shifting fairly well, but Mount Abe just being patient and passing the ball around until they got an open look. And that was Kobe LaRose. A little short jump shot on the baseline. Thunderbirds get the ball across half court. Power with the fake, kicks it back up to Walker. Coach Walker telling his team they have to be quicker with those passes. He'll open up opportunities. Still passing the ball around outside. Into Unwin. Unwin gonna pass it out to Power. Power tries to get back to Unwin, too hard. And the Thunderbirds gonna be called for a foul. I believe the MVU coaching staff did not quite agree with that call. And that will be number 2 on Cole Buta. Team's 5th. Buta remains in the game, however. Team fouls are tied 5-5. But Mount Abe with a 9-point lead here. 23-14. Mount Abe being patient here. MVU almost got the turnover. Walker and Johnson reaching their hands in. Mount Abe able to keep possession. Now down to Cook, and he will be called for the travel as he's trying to put some post moves on Matthew Curtis. Good defense by Curtis. Walker over to Johnston. Back to Walker. Couple fakes. Curtis met by 2 Mount Abe defenders. Back up to Johnston, over to Walker. I think if Walker had swung that just a little bit sooner, Power would have had a nice look. Into Unwin underneath, and a big block by Quincy Cook. Unwin looks like he was all alone with no one in front of him, but the long arms of Cook reaching over to get that block. Unwin looking. Walker's going to put that 3 up, and that one's good. Patrick Walker's first 3 of the game. He now has 5 points. Able to get Thunderbirds within 6 now. And there will be another travel call. And that's one that Coach Clark did not like. However, Coach Walker telling his team that they got bailed out that time. Cook did look like he had a pretty open lane for a layup. Thunderbirds did indeed get lucky. Curtis down to Unwin. Unwin looking, not able to get that pass above Mount Abe's hands. Walker closing out. Cogswell with the ball. And Coach Martin Clark will call the game's first timeout. 3:53 to go in the second quarter. Mount Abe leading MVU 23-17. Seems like this game at this point has sort of settled into the pace that we're going to see for most of it. Both teams trying to put pressure on each other. For the large part, it's been pretty even, but there have been a couple stretches where Mount Abe has hit a couple threes or forced a couple turnovers and been able to extend their lead. They've led by as much as 8. It's at 6 right now. MVU still hanging on here. I think a little confusion on the MVU bench about who should be back in the game, but they have all 5 out there now. A deep 3-point attempt off the back iron. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Matthew Curtis. That would be his second. Saying that he reached over the Mount Abe man who was boxing him out. Coach Walker disagrees. Another 3-point attempt is up, and that one this time is short by Brett Sargent. He's taken a couple couple deep ones. And a quick mask stoppage. Mask stoppages, one of the stoppages that are unique to this season, and with any luck with vaccines, unique to only this season. Down to Curtis. Curtis now working on 3 Mount Abe players. Going to squeeze through a few of them and able to get the ball up and draw the foul. But Coach Walker telling Curtis he's guarded by 3 players, look around for the open MVU shooter. Either way, Mount Abe foul on number 5, Daniel Rodriguez, his first, team 6th. Both teams with 6 team fouls, so next foul we see will automatically be free throws. Curtis short on the first attempt. It's Cole Buta going to check back into the game. Gabe Unwin stays at the table, I believe, going to check in for Matthew Curtis. Curtis misses both. Mount Abe with the rebound. 3 minutes left in the first half. Mount Abe with a 6-point lead. That three-pointer is up, and that one is good by Grayson Lyons, his first points of the game. Puts Mount Abe back up by 9. That's their largest lead so far tonight. Dangerous pass. Luno able to gather it. Over to Buta. And we are going to get a timeout called by Coach Walker. MVU looking a little bit out of sorts on that offensive possession. And that's been the challenge for the Thunderbirds for most of this evening. Mount Abe's defense has been tenacious, and they have extended it well beyond the 3-point line. A trapping defense. Both teams with 6 team fouls. Mount Abe with 6 different players with 1 foul. But for the Thunderbirds, Matthew Curtis and Cole Buta both have 2 personals. Coach Walker has still been playing them, but they've had to be a little bit careful on the defensive end. Both of them now on the bench after that timeout. 2:46 left. Caleb Johnson, the senior, going to inbound it for Thunderbirds over to Unwin. Unwin nice and patient with the pump fake. Out to Johnston. Closely guarded by Sargent. Over to Walker. Walker gathers that. Eventually up to Unwin. Unwin going to end up taking it. And that one is good. Gabe Unwin now with 9 points tonight. Brings the Thunderbirds back within 6. Coach Walker begging for his team to hustle when they get those tips, and now going to send Cole Buta to the desk telling him, you better get those loose balls. And some confusion here. Refs are calling a foul on Gabe Unwin, it looks like. That's going to be his first. But some confusion, as it looks like the majority of players thought that the foul was called on Mount Abe. Patrick Walker was getting ready to inbound the ball, but instead it'll be Brett Sargent shooting 1-1. Makes the first. Gabe Unwin briefly stepped out, now checking back in. It's Hazen Luno going to get a breather. And Luke Fournier. Fournier also checking in for Cole Buta. Some quick substitutions here for the Thunderbirds. And Sargent goes 2 for 2, gets the bounce. on that one. Mount Abe back up by 8, just over 2 minutes left in the first half. Johnson over to Power. Power back to Johnson. Sargent was anticipating that one, but going to be called with the reach. So Johnston will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. That's Sargent's first foul. Mount Abe with 7 different players with 1 foul each. So no foul trouble on their side. Johnson misses. And Cole Buta trying to be very careful not to pick up a 3rd foul on that rebound attempt as Mount Abe breaks the press. Walker, though, nice job cutting off the drive. Up to Sargent. Sargent over to Lyons. Lyons going to keep it, try to get in the lane, and he will be called for travel. Matthew Curtis coming back in for the Thunderbirds. Luke Fournier takes a seat. Walker with the ball. Just quickly moves up so he's not trapped. Cross-court pass to Sean Power. That one's just off. Gets his own rebound. Back up to Walker. Walker looking around, trying to direct the offense here. In trouble. Back to Unwin. Cross-court to Johnston. Too high. The simple passes were there up top. The Thunderbirds electing not to go that direction. 1:15 left in the first half. Mount Abe moving much slower on their offense. Time is on their side. Sargent going to be called for a travel. Coach Clark asking how. MVU breaks the press. Walker going to put that attempt up. That one is too strong. Unwin, though, there to clean up, and he's now in double digits. The first player in the game in double digits. He has 11. 35 seconds to go. Thunderbirds down 6. LaRose kicks it out to Sargent. Over to Jensen. Jensen to Parody. Parody going to take it, going to run right into Matthew Curtis. And that is going to be number 3 on Curtis. So Buta coming in. Buta himself with 2 personal fouls, so he also has to be careful. As Griffin Parody is at the line to shoot 1 and 1. And misses. That rebound attempt, looks like Unwin had it, went out of bounds. They called it off of Unwin, much to MVU's surprise. And that elbow jumper is off. Good fight by Digby to gobble that rebound in. 10 seconds now. Digby up to Unwin. Unwin going to put up that 3-point attempt. Just off. Lyons gets the rebound. Mount Abe pushing it 1 second. And they will be called for travel. There's exactly 1 second left on the clock. MVU taking the ball out of bounds. They're going to have just enough time to throw it in, catch and shoot. They're going to have to try to figure out an open look. The heave by Digby, and that one is short. And that'll do it for the first half. Mount Abe leading the Thunderbirds 28-22. Before we send it to halftime, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Pearly Sports Complex, JC Image, Handy Toyota, Barrett Ford, and Clarity Realty with Keller Williams, Vermont. If your business would like to become a sports sponsor, contact staff at Northwest Access TV at 802-782-8676. And of course, we are a nonprofit and we have a donation link on this post. If you feel generous enough to give us a donation to help us continue with live coverage, we would be grateful and very much appreciate it. So we will send it to halftime here at MVU. Again, the Thunderbirds trailing Mount Abe 22-28. I'm Bryce Batchelder, and we will see you at the other side of halftime. We are back for the second half here at the Thunderdome in Swanton, as the Thunderbirds are hosting the Mount Abraham Eagles. The Thunderbirds trail Mount Abe 22-28. My name is Bryce Batchelder, and before we get into the second half action, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Pearly Sports Complex, JC Image, Handy Toyota, Barrett Ford, and Clarity Realty with Keller Williams, Vermont. If your business would like to become a sports sponsor, contact staff at Northwest Access TV at 802-782-8676. Heading into the second half, let me give you some scoring leaders here for the Thunderbirds. Gabe Unwin is the highest scorer in the game so far with 11. Patrick Walker also with 5. For the Eagles, Quincy Cook leads his team with 7. And Henry Cogswell and Liam Oxford each have 6. Matthew Curtis with 3 personal fouls and Cole Buta with 2. As the Eagles start with possession here in the second half. Patrick Walker, a nice steal. And he will finish it off the other end. A great start for the Thunderbirds. He now has 7, brings the Thunderbirds back within 4, the closest they've been in a little while. And Cole Buta is going to be called for that swipe. Playing with 2 personal fouls, needs to be a little bit smarter than that. He is MVU's energy guy, however. That, as I said, his 3rd personal foul, team's first of the second half. Lucas Jensen, a senior, handling the ball for Mount Abe, kicks that one out to Cook. MVU's defense doing a solid job. Cook now getting in the high post against Unwin. He's going to kick that one out now. MVU not giving them open looks here. A contested 3 is up, and that one's off. And Cole Buta with an excellent job boxing out. Going to draw the foul. I believe will be on Liam Oxford. Trying to reach over his head. We got him with a lot of body. And that is Oxford's 2nd personal foul. Mount Abe's first of the second half. Hazen Luno checking into the game. Going to give Cole Buta a rest early in this 3rd quarter. A minute in here. Back over to Johnston. Mount Abe's been trying to trap at that half-court line for most of the night. Walker going to launch that 3, and that one rims off. Cook saves it for the Eagles. Now a fast break the other way. Parody going to drive baseline, met by Unwin. Unwin able to disrupt that shot enough, and he gets the rebound. He's pushing it the other way now. Back over to Walker. Walker now going to put up another 3-point attempt. That time is good, and he's now in double digits with 10 points. Walker scoring all 5 of the Thunderbirds' points so far in this 3rd quarter. Brings them back within 1, and Unwin with a strong rebound. And will draw a Mount Abe foul. So really strong sequence of events here for the Thunderbirds. In the first couple minutes here of this 3rd quarter, this is the energy that they needed. Overheard Matt Walker at halftime giving them instructions, especially on offense, telling them that swing man has been open for most of the night and they've been missing it. That time that pass a little too high off of Unwin's hands. Cook going to put that one in. That one rattles off. Walker going to gobble it in, and Walker going to draw another foul on Cook, and that will be number 3 on him. So for the majority of the night, Mount Abe players with only 1 personal foul. In the matter of about 40 seconds, Quincy Cook picks up 2 more, and now he's at 3. Mount Abe with 3 team fouls here in the second half as Matthew Curtis going to check in and giving Hazen Luno a break. Down to Curtis on the baseline. A nice quick pass to Unwin. Kicks it out to Walker. Walker across the Power. Power's going to put that three-pointer up. He had a hand in his face. Walker and Henry Cogswell got tied up a little bit, battling for the rebound, but good sportsmanship. Walker giving Cogswell a pat on the back, saying it wasn't intentional. And we are going to get our first timeout of the second half. The Thunderbirds on a nice run here, closing their deficit, now only down to Mount Abe by 1, trailing 27-28, in large part thanks to Patrick Walker's play. Patrick Walker on one of the opening possessions of this half for Mount Abe, able to poke the ball away and bring it the other end all on his own, and then able to hit a three-pointer. MVU with the ball here. Patrick Walker tries to get into Unwin. Henry Cogswell with good anticipation, but Sean Power with the hustle. Looked like Power, I think, got a leg to the head. He slammed the ground. But that foul will be called on MVU, on Patrick Walker. That's his first. Team's second. Now we here at MVU, we hear a lot of times from folks asking us to show the scoreboard with the personal fouls. Unfortunately, it's from where our vantage point is up in the bleachers. We don't have a clean angle on that one for our camera to get, which is why we don't show that one. We would love to show it, but unfortunately it's not a great angle. It's Patrick Walker with another steal. And a nice Chris Paul move there. See, that's a veteran senior guard move. Had an open layup. Felt the defender behind him and just slowed down. So the defender ran into his back to draw the foul. He's going to shoot 2. That Mount Abe foul on number 2, Griffin Parody. His second, team's 4th of the second half. Patrick Walker with 2 free throws. Hits the first one. And Walker goes 2 for 2. He now has 12 points and has become the leading scorer of the game, scoring all 7 of MVU's points so far in this third quarter, single-handedly giving MVU a 1-point lead. Their first lead of the game since it was 4-3 early in the first quarter. Big offensive rebound brought down by Kobe LaRose. And we're going to get an MVU foul now. That MVU foul on number 30, Patrick Walker, his second, team's third. Three-point attempt is up, and that one is just off the rim. Luno got the rebound. Walker now bringing it up. Over to Buta. Buta into Unwin, down on the block. Unwin gonna work. Gets that one over LaRose, but doesn't go. And a good follow there. And we'll get an offensive foul. Offensive foul on Mount Abe called on number 4, Kobe LaRose, his second. And that is the team's 5th of the second half. Big opportunity here for the Thunderbirds. If 4 minutes into the second half, Mount Abe already at 5 team fouls. That one's off. Digby with a lot of fight, one of the smallest guys on the court. Fighting down low to get that rebound. And he draws the foul. That Mount Abe foul on number 12, Henry Cogswell, his second. Team 6th. So next foul, next Mount Abe foul, and MVU will be in the bonus for the rest of the game. Digby missed that one. LaRose getting the rebound. North Country with some nice ball movement that time. Kobe LaRose putting a little spin move down. And he'll draw the foul. That MVU foul is on number 21, Hazen Luno, his first. Team's 4th. Kobe LaRose hits the first of his 2 attempts. And goes 2 for 2. Mount Abe back in their 3-quarter court press here. Has given MVU trouble for much of the first half. MVU been able to sort of work around it with a 1-point lead. Oh, a nice find. Nice find from Unwin to a cutting Mason Noble, but Noble called for the travel. Mount Abe with the ball here. Drive in, that one's kicked out to LaRose. LaRose up to Lyons. Lyons out to Cogswell. Cogswell gonna put that one up. Surrounded by 3 MVU defenders. Doesn't fall. MVU able to get the rebound. Walker trying to push it. Unwin gonna pull up for 3. And that one is good. Unwin with 14 points and gives MVU a 2-possession lead here. Up 34-30. MVU's biggest lead since the first minute of the game. With 2.5 to go in this third quarter. MVU's defense now stepping it up, forcing turnovers. And this time, though, called for the travel. Oh, MVU asking for a travel on that one. They're going to get it. Grayson Lyons tried to drive that one in on the left side. MVU coaching staff calling for the travel pretty immediately. Walker taking his time, getting over half court. Finds an open Fournier. Fournier shuffles it back to Johnston. Over to Fournier again. Here's Johnston. To Buta, to Walker. MVU being a little bit more patient now. Walker going to take a couple steps in. Misses it. Tries to get his own rebound. Not able to. LaRose is the one who wrestled that one for Mount Abe. An open three-pointer is good for Griffin Parody. He has 5 points now on the night. Brings Mount Abe back within one. And Coach Walker calling for a timeout here. Seemed like momentum may have been shifting a little bit in Mount Abe's favor. As the Thunderbirds hold on to a narrow lead, 34-33. Give you some scoring leaders here so far tonight. Gabe Unwin with 14 points, leading all scorers in the game. Patrick Walker with 12. 7 of that 12 here in this third quarter alone. For the Eagles, Quincy Cook with 7. Oxford and Cogswell each with 6. None of them has scored in the second half so far. Parody also with 5. The foul situation, Mount Abe with 16 fouls, MVU with 4. Curtis and Buta with 3 personals, and Patrick Walker with 2 for the Thunderbirds. For Mount Abe, LaRose, Cogswell, Oxford, and Parody have 2, and Quinn Cook have 3. Again, apologies that we can't show you the scoreboard that has the foul information. Not a clean line of sight from where the internet connection allows us to set up in this gym, but I'll do my best to give you that information, as Eddie's doing a great job on the camera work. Unwin with the ball down in the quarter. Buta into Curtis. Curtis, a nice opposite move. Oh, just bounces out. Curtis turned in the middle. Had a man on his right and a quick little duck under to go to his left. Had a decent look, not able to get it to fall. A nice effort nonetheless for Matthew Curtis, who again, he's been battling an injury all year. Been giving MVU limited minutes. Anything he can give them is a bonus. Undoubtedly a starter and a key player at full health. The drive for Mount Abe. Kicks it out to Peterson. Peterson getting it into LaRose. Unwin reaching in from behind. Unwin doesn't like the call, but that is one of those plays that the refs sort of have to call. Still only Unwin's second personal foul. Mount Abe taking the ball underneath. That three-point attempt was up for Parody, just short. Johnston dribbling it up for the Thunderbirds. Over to Luno. Luno can try to drive in, but Parody was there to reach his hand in, knocks the ball away. Mount Abe ends up with possession. Lions now passing it over to Cook. Or excuse me, to Peterson. Peterson and Lions passing it back and forth here. 2 seniors. Nice steal by Buta as Cogswell tried to drive in. Gonna push it up to Unwin. Unwin puts that one in. Gives the Thunderbirds a 3-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Unwin now with 16. at the end of 3 quarters. We've got a close one here at the Thunderdome. The Thunderbirds up by 3, 36-33. A huge turnaround for MVU in that last quarter. Trailing by 6 at halftime. Patrick Walker with a huge spark to start that third quarter, scored 7 of their points. Got a couple steals. Hit a big three-pointer. Unwin also with a great quarter. He now has 16 on the game. Walker has a total of 12. For Mount Abe, Quincy Cook with 7, Cogswell and Oxford with 6 apiece. Again, all 3 of them were big scorers in the first half. Did not score in the third quarter. Big reason why the Thunderbirds have been able to take the lead. Griffin Parody also chipping in 5. In terms of fouls, Matthew Curtis and Cole Buta have 3 apiece for the Thunderbirds. And Unwin and Walker have 2. For Mount Abe, Quincy Cook, the only player with 3. LaRose, Cogswell, Oxford, and Parody each have 2. Both teams with 6 team fouls. So either way, next foul we get tonight, someone will be shooting free throws. Unless it's an offensive foul, of course. Johnston looking around. Buta going to set a screen. Yeah, Buta is going to get called for that illegal screen. He was set, but still getting a little bit handsy. Kind of pushing off with his arms a little bit, which is where he got that call. Cole Buta now with 4 personal fouls. That's a rough one to get for your 4th personal. Still with 7:45 left in the fourth quarter. He provides the Thunderbirds with a ton of energy. So he's now going to have to play really carefully, really intelligently the rest of the way as Luno gets ready to check in. That three-pointer off. Unwin gets the rebound for the Thunderbirds, pushing it. Unwin over to Johnston. Johnston going to drive with his right. Gets the free throw line, decides to pull it out. A good decision as 2 Mount Abe defenders were there waiting for him. Power with the ball. Out to Johnston. Over to Buta. Buta trying to find Unwin, cutting across, kicks it out to Walker. To Buta, to Unwin. Probably the best possession that we've seen from the Thunderbirds all night in terms of their ball movement. Nice and patient, waiting for the open shot. But that time, Mount Abe able to break the Thunderbirds' press. Thunderbirds got lucky that Quincy Cook wasn't able to make the bunny. That ball bounces out off the Eagles. Thunderbirds get it. Up 5 with 6:53 left to go in the game. As I said towards the beginning of this game, MVU coaching staff told me that these are 2 really even teams that are playing, essentially sort of the 9 and 10 ranked teams. Luno going to get called for that travel. A good idea, though, on the opposite block to try to bounce that one down to Unwin. Mount Abe breaks the press. Ball around the three-point line here. Swinging around. Cogswell with it now. Coach Walker asking the Thunderbirds to move their heads to look where the ball is. Pays off as Luno able to take that one away. All Thunderbirds right now. Still plenty of time left and only a 5-point game, though. Unwin, a nice fake. Going to drive in, shovels it over to Luno. Luno not able to handle it. Still a really nice fake from Unwin. Up at the top of the three-point line to get Quincy Cook out of position and to drive in. Mount Abe having trouble with MVU's defense here in the second half. And I think we're going to get a foul called on the Thunderbirds. That foul on number 13, Mason Noble, his first, team's 8th. Quincy Cook hits the first free throws. Hits the first free throw. His first points of the second half. Goes 2 for 2 from the line. He now has 9 points and able to bring the Eagles within 3. Just under 6 minutes left. Walker back over to Johnston. Sean Power going to put that three-pointer up. Bounces off. But good hustle from Noble to get that rebound. Long rebound. Dangerous pass corralled in by Johnston. Gets it down to Unwin. Quincy Cook reached in to knock that one away, but he's going to get called for the foul. That, I believe, will be his fourth. It is indeed. So far, Coach Clark electing to keep him in the game with 5.5 remaining. That foul does put MVU in the bonus, however. Unwin at the free throw line. Misses the front end. Good effort by Noble, not able to get that rebound this time, however. Mount Abe coming the other way. Parody passes it over to Cogswell. Cogswell asking for a screen. Jensen into Cook. Cook lost the ball. And it'll go back to the Thunderbirds. Sean Power checking back into the game for Matthew Curtis. Coach Walker has made some very quick substitutions for much of this game. Mount Abe still extending their defense, but doesn't seem to be quite as aggressive as it was before. Walker going to put that three up. That one bounces off. Unwin with the fight. Unlucky for the Thunderbirds, but a heads-up play by Griffin Parody of Mount Abe to get a hand on that ball and throw it off of Unwin to keep possession for the Eagles. Quincy Cook with an almost dunks it. Rattles out. Dunks look great, but in a close game like this, you want to do the shot, that's a guarantee. Sometimes in high school, that's just a layup. As Unwin puts that one up, he's going to draw a fifth foul on Quinn Cook, who also gets a technical. Sort of a rough sequence here for Quincy Cook. Misses the dunk. Then draws the foul on the other end, and that was his fifth foul. He's fouled out. But on his way back to the bench, gets called for the technical. So Unwin's going to get 2 free throws here. Misses the first. Free throws have been a problem for the whole Thunderbird team for much of this year. Goes 0 for 2 on the foul free throws, and now Patrick Walker is going to take the technical free throws. Misses the first. Makes the second, however. Patrick Walker was 13 points on the night. Good defense there from Lucas Jensen, able to poke that ball out from Sean Power as Power went past him. Mount Abe trying to push the pace here on the other side. Rodriguez getting his first action of the night. The drive in. Oh, a good find. Cogswell with a nice drive to draw MVU's defenders, and Kobe LaRose just a nice baseline cut, wide open reverse layup underneath the basket. Pulls Mount Abe within 2. Still anybody's game at this point, just under 4 minutes to go here. Patrick Walker trying to get the team reset here on offense. Of course, with a slight lead, clock is on MVU's time. Over to Power in the corner. Back up to Walker. Walker taking his time. MVU not trying to force anything right now. Gets it down to Unwin. Back to Walker. Up to Power up top. Thunderbirds playing a bit of a stall game here. Johnson. Ball almost backcourt. Walker able to catch it. Power in the corner. Into Unwin down low. Back out to Walker. A long possession for MVU, just chewing clock. This time, Johnson in a bit of trouble, able to get out of it. And Walker will get called for travel. So the good thing for that possession for MVU is they wasted about a minute on the clock. Bad news is they didn't get anything out of it. And the way that North Country's defense has sort of changed their priorities here, where in the first half they're really trying to trap up by the half-court line. Now they're trying to double team around the three-point line. That the ball is actually safer for MVU closer to the half-court line as Henry Cogswell gets that jumper to fall, and that ties the game, 39-39. Just over 2 minutes left. Power going to drive, puts that one up. And a heck of a move for Sean Power to give the Thunderbirds 2-point lead again. Put that floater up from behind the rim. 2 minutes left. Jumper is short. Kobe LaRose got the rebound for Mount Abe. And Patrick Walker going to get called for that foul on the rebound, pushing from behind. That's his third, team's 9th. So next MVU foul, and Mount Abe will be in the double bonus. Of course, I'd like to mention that this year JC Image is sponsoring a player of the game this year, where we will choose a player of the game, and they will receive a Showtime t-shirt sponsored and donated by JC Image. So we'd like to thank them for that reward and keepsake that players this year get to take home after the game. If you have thoughts on who should be the player of the game, leave your comments in the Facebook feed. And of course, Northwest Access TV is also a non-profit. We rely on sponsorships and donations to be able to bring live sporting events here on Facebook. There is a donation link as part of this post. If you've enjoyed the coverage, we would be ever so grateful if you would consider giving a donation. Any amount is helpful. But we thank you all for watching, no matter what. As Kobe LaRose, with some big free throws here, hits the first one. He has 7. That pulls Mount Abe within 1. 1:57 left in this game. And LaRose gets them both. We've got a tie ball game at 41. Walker and Johnston passing the ball back and forth in the half court. Over to Curtis. Cross-court pass down to Unwin, down in the post. Unwin trying to find Johnson. Too strong. And Patrick Walker going to be called for that foul as Griffin Parody was going up for the layup. Excuse me, not called on Walker on the swipe, but Matthew Curtis calling him for a push-off from behind. And that is Curtis's 5th foul, so he is fouled out of the game. Cole Buta is going to take his place. Buta has 4 personal fouls. Griffin Parody at the line, trying to break the tie here for Mount Abe. Hits the first. And hits the second. So Parody now with 7 points. Gives Mount Abe a 2-point lead. Their first lead since the 3rd quarter. Walker able to corral that pass. And now is where the Thunderbirds really need to get something out of this trip here. Down to Unwin on the post, out to Johnson. Johnson back up to Walker. Minute 15 left. Unwin down low, kicks it out to Power. Power out to Walker. Into Unwin to Buta to Walker. Walker gonna launch that 3, it's good! Walker gives the Thunderbirds a 1-point lead, less than a minute to go. Unwin picking up the ball. Unwin with a big block on Henry Cogswell's attempt. Clutch defense from Gabe Unwin, who's also the leading scorer with 18. Just over 30 seconds, Mount Abe's coach begging his team to foul. They finally do. A huge 3-pointer for Patrick Walker. Mount Abe foul on number 4, Kobe LaRose, his 3rd. Team's 9th. Unwin going to shoot 1 and 1. For Mount Abe, Quincy Cook is already fouled out. Kobe LaRose has 3 personals. For MVU, Matthew Curtis is fouled out. Cole Buta has 4. Patrick Walker has 3. Mount Abe is in the double bonus. MVU is a foul away from being in the double. Unwin with a clutch free throw here. Puts MVU back up by 2. Mount Abe had taken a 2-point lead, and thanks to Walker's 3 and now Unwin's free throws, the Thunderbirds have a 2-point lead. Game's not done yet. 30 seconds to go. Mount Abe with the ball. Oxford over to Parody. Gets a screen. Parody shovels it up to Cogswell. Cogswell trying to find some space. He's going to put it up himself, and that one is in. Cogswell ties the game with 10.8 seconds to go. That also gives Cogswell 10 points on the night. .8 seconds left. A tie game of 45-45. MVU has already played 1 overtime game this year against Enosburg a few weeks ago right here in the Thunderdome. Going to try to chew some clock and not give Mount Abe any opportunities to take a shot here. Scoring leaders for the evening, Gabe Unwin with 19. Patrick Walker with 16. Those two have been the big scorers here in this second half for the Thunderbirds. Remember, the Thunderbirds were down 6 at halftime. They have battled back. They got up by as much as 4. But the Eagles have since battled back. Find ourselves tied 45-45 for the Eagles. Henry Cogswell, their leading scorer with 10. Kobe LaRose with 8. Quincy Cook, who has now fouled out, he has 9. And Griffin Parody with 7. MVU has to go the length of the court with 10 seconds to go. The worst thing would be to turn it over on their own end. They get it across. Walker gonna go through and gets the shot up. He makes it. Timeout has been called. 0.6 seconds left. Patrick Walker takes it himself. Gives the Thunderbirds a 2-point lead with 0.6 seconds remaining. Coach Walker had subbed in his offensive unit. Walker finding the lane himself, got that shot up over, I think, 3 Mount Abe players. That's what happens when you have a really strong senior point guard. Walker, I think, has one of the surest hands in the state as a point guard. He tends not to rush things and keeps a level head. He has a good handle. We saw it there. The clock has been reset. Mount Abe's coach called a timeout. And then the clock still ran for a couple seconds, so it's not 0.6 seconds remaining. They've reset it to 3 seconds, so just enough time for Mount Abe to get one attempt up. They will have to go the length of the court, however, so it's not going to be easy. They're not playing by NBA rules where you get to advance the ball to half court. They've got to go the long way here. Coach Walker putting in a defensive unit here with Buta and Johnson and Walker and Unwin. Mount Abe lost the ball. Liam Oxford got the pass, has dribbled it out of bounds. The ball's going to go back to the Thunderbirds with 1.2 seconds left. And now Coach Walker subbing offense and defense here. Going to put a few free throw shooters in, knowing that Mount Abe is going to try to foul here as soon as they possibly can. Unwin gets it, and that's going to do it tonight. MVU escapes with a close, hard-fought win, 47-45. Leading scorers this evening, Gabe Unwin led all players with 19. Patrick Walker with 18. For Mount Abe, Henry Cogswell led their team with 10. Quincy Cook had 9. Kobe LaRose with 8. Griffin Parody with 7. Liam Oxford with 6. And we are going to give the player of the game, sponsored by JC Image, to Patrick Walker with 18 points tonight. And with the game-winning shot, with only a couple seconds left to give the Thunderbirds the win. The Thunderbirds trailed by 6 at halftime. Battled back in that third quarter, largely thanks to 7 points from Patrick Walker. It's up by as much as 4. The Eagles, though, were not done. We're able to tie the game and even take a 2-point lead. But the Thunderbirds, in the end, getting it done with a big three-pointer from Patrick Walker, a free throw from Unwin, and then Walker's game-deciding shot with 3 seconds left. Patrick Walker, your JC Image player of the game. Before we leave tonight, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Purley Sports Complex, JC Image, Handy Toyota, Barrett Ford, and Clarity Realty with Keller Williams, Vermont. My wife and I happened to use Clarity Realty when we bought our home 2 years ago. I personally can attest that they give you a great experience. If your business would like to become a sports sponsor, contact staff at Northwest Access TV at 802-782-8676. And don't forget, we are a nonprofit. If you would like to donate to our continuing live sports coverage, there is a donation link up on the post. With thanks tonight to Eddie, our videographer. Great job, Eddie. My name is Bryce Batchelder, MVU Again, topping the Mount Abe Eagles in a close one, 47-45. My name is Bryce Batchelder. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time.